Hello everyone. In this module of Unit 4, Module 1 of Principles and Practices of Management, we would be discussing on what staffing is. This is basically the second function after planning, organizing, staffing, basically the third function of management. So let's start with staffing. What is staffing? Basically, staffing is concerned with the human resource of an enterprise. It is concerned with acquiring, developing, utilizing, and maintaining human resource. It is basically the process of matching job with the individuals to ensure right man for the right job. So, staffing is a process of acquiring, employing, developing, remunerating, and appraising people so that the right people are available and are put on right jobs in the organization. Thus, staffing covers wide-ranging activities relevant for keeping organization positions filled. Staffing is a continuous and universal function in all organizations. It is an important activity of selection and appraisal. It is primarily concerned with choosing, retaining a dedicated, devoted, potential, and skilled workforce, both managerial and operative functions. So let's come with the definition of staffing. It says the managerial functions of staffing involves manning the organizational structure through people and effective selections, appraisal, and development of personnel to fill the roles designed into the structure, according to Kunj and Donald. Let's come to the nature. So basically, staffing is a managerial responsibility. It's a continuous function and it is concerned with the human element. So the nature of the staffing covers it, select, train, promote, demote, transfer, retire the appropriate candidates and employees. It arranges the relevant pay remuneration, establishes effective communication system among the employees to guide them to perform perfectly using their skills. What is the importance of staffing? The importance of staffing is to discover, obtain competent employees, improve their quantity, quality, so that they can be putting the right man for the right job. It leads to job satisfaction of employees and also reduces the cost of personnel by avoiding the wastages of human resource. Let's start with the staffing process. It has many steps, which starts with human resource planning or manpower planning, recruitment, selection, orientation or placement, training and development, employee remuneration, performance evaluation or appraisal, and promotion and transfer. To start with the first step, that is the human resource planning or manpower planning. It involves assessing human resource requirement, present HR available, and the additional HR to be acquired through different sources. So basically, the importance of HRP, that is the human resource planning, is to defining the further personnel needed, coping with the changes, providing base for developing talent, increasing the investment on HR. It also has divided into job analysis, which is further divided into job description and job specification. Manpower planning includes analyzing the current manpower inventory, making future manpower forecasts, developing employee programs, and designing the training programs. To start with the first step, it says analyzing the current manpower inventory means before the manager makes forecast of future manpower, he analyzes the current status, that is the number of departments, the number and the quantity of such departments, employees in these units, etc. The second one is manpower forecasting. That could be through experts forecast or through trend analysis, workload analysis, or job force analysis. The fourth step is developing employment program, that once the current inventory is compared with the future forecast, the employment programs can be framed and developed accordingly, which will include recruitment, selection procedures, and placement plans, etc. The fourth step is design the training program. This is needed for the extension of diversification, expansion plans, development programs, etc. So, training programs depend upon the extent of the improvement in technology advancement to take place. It is also done to improve upon the skills, capabilities, knowledge of the worker. Let's come to the second step, that is related to recruitment. What is recruitment? It says recruitment, as the definition of the Flippo says, it's a process of attracting the potential employees, stimulating them to apply for the job in the organization. So basically, recruitment is identifying the sources of potential employees, informing people of job openings, attracting the applicants who have the requisite qualification to perform the job. So basically, the types of recruitment are divided into internal and the external recruitment. Internal recruitment is basically the recruitment that takes place within the concern of the organization, that is the transfer, promotion, re-employment. And external is through external forces like employment factory level, employment through advertisement, employment through employment exchange, agencies, educational institutions, through recommendation and labor contracts, etc. Let's come to the third step of the staffing, that is related to the selection. It is basically the process of choosing the most suitable candidate out of the several candidates available. So it is basically a negative process as it rejects the candidates who do not qualify. So according to Dale, it says selection is the process by which the candidates for employment are divided into two classes, those who will be offered employment and those who will not be. The significance of selection is basically to reduce the employee turnover, lesser the need for the training, self-motivation and high morale of the employee, and for the more and better production of the organization. So this is the steps in the selection process, as it starts with the application of the candidates, initial interview, scrutiny of the paper, psychological test, interview, group discussions, physical test, selection, placements, etc. The requisition form, it's basically the commencement of the receipt of the requisition by the personnel department, that is the HR department, from any particular department of the organization to fill up the vacancy arising in the department. It is authorized by the head of that particular department. Then recruitment comes. Application blank is the basically real starting point of the selection process. Application blank, it is the form of containing various particulars under distinct categories. Scrutiny of the application form, that is, the forms are scrutinized carefully on the basis of the job specifications and other organizational requirements. Test is the candidates whose application are accepted are supposed to take certain steps to improve their suitability, to prove their suitability for the jobs being applied for by them. Interview is the testifying the validity of the information provided by the candidate. Medical examination is to judge the physical fitness, competency of the individual to perform any type of job. Then checking references provided by the candidate, final selection and the placement. This is basically the difference between the recruitment and selection. As it says, it starts with searching of candidate, whereas this is the series of tests where the candidates are screened for choosing the most suitable person. The purpose of the recruitment is to create a pool of talents of employees and the best candidate for the organization, whereas choosing the right candidate is to fill up the various positions is the selection. The process of recruitment is a positive as it invites maximum number of people, whereas the selection is negative as it rejects which are unsuitable for the job. Then there is no contract of recruitment established in recruitment, but there is a contract of services between the employer and the employee or the selected employee. The cost and recruitment is basically negligible, not very expensive, but selection is very expensive because it involves a number of steps, that is the interview, medical examination, etc. Let us come to the next step, that is the orientation or the placement. It says the orientation of the placement is assignment of a particular job to a newly appointed employee in the placement of work. So thus placement signifies placing the employee to job for which they appear suitable and qualified on the basis of their selection technique. So placement is to put the right man in the right job, and the significance is that what is the qualification of the employee, what type of job he can do efficiently, what are his likings and interests, what is expected from the employee, what will be the quantity of work assigned per day or per week or per month to that employee, and what quantity of work can be expected in proposed wage or salary, and what the worker must be well informed about the nature and procedure, conditions and policies of the assigned job. So he must be facilitated with the required furniture, equipment, stationery, lightings, training, etc. whenever required. So basically this is all about orientation or the placement. Next step is the training and development. Here we have two words, that is training and development. Training, as suggested, it's a systematic development of knowledge, skills, attitude required by an individual, and it is basically the act of increasing the knowledge and skill of an employee, whereas training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skill of an employee, and basically it has three objectives of the training is there. First objective is to acquiring intellectual knowledge, second is to increasing the physical efficiency, and third is acquiring the ability to solve the problems. Whereas the development refers to the nature and direction of change induced in employees, particularly managerial personnel, through long-term educative processes. So it focuses on development, is basically focus on the overall development on competency of the managerial personnel in the light of the present requirement as well as of the future requirement. So basically training is where existing skill, knowledge, attitude of the employee or of a person is, and where it is required, like what skill, knowledge and attitude is required. The benefits of the training, as it says, it is basically improving his performance, updating his skills, avoiding managerial obsolescences, preparing for promotions and managerial, retaining the motivated employees, efficient, effective of organization is created, morale is improved, lesser supervision is required, chances of promotions, etc. And the methods of training is on-the-job training and off-the-job training. Let's come to the next step, that is the compensation or the remuneration. As it says, it can be the financial, non-financial or incentives. The seventh step is the performance appraisal or evaluation appraisal. It says basically it is the objectives of assessment of the individual performance against the well-defined performance. That is, it is basically, it's a systematic, periodic and an impartial rating of an employee's excellence in matter pertaining to his present job and his potential for the better job. So basically it's a systematic, impartial process. It seeks to measure the both quantitative and qualitative quality of the individual's job performance, and it is concerned with measuring the potential of individuals for further development of the to transform them into a better personnel. These are the key points, that is the evaluation, comparison, results, rewards, corrective action, and the use of performance appraisal is for the purpose of promotion, confirmation, training, development, compensation, competency, improvement, communication, evaluation of HR programs, feedback and grievances. Let's come to the last step, that is related to the separation, which says it is basically separation of employee from the organization. It could be due to the reason of resignation or layoff, discharge or retirement. So too many separation might signify non-competitive pay scale, reoccurring layoff, sometimes results from poor integration of production with market demands, and too many discharge might indicate poor selection or training procedures from the organization point of view. This is all in this video. Thank you so much.